Rihanna is following me. No, I am following her.
Some faces don't just get seen, they stay. They linger in your mind long after you've scrolled past them, like a melody you cannot forget. Barbara Palvin has that kind of face. But it's not just her beauty, because beauty, we see it everywhere. It's something deeper, something magnetic, something that makes you feel like you know her even if you've only seen her once. She's not the tallest model in the room. She doesn't have that sharp, intimidating beauty that fashion often worships. And yet, she commands every frame. When Barbara Palvin appears, everything else fades into the background. I've always wondered why does Barbara Palvin stand out? Not because she tries to be different, but because she simply is. What is it about her energy that makes people feel comforted, drawn in, and even a little bit in love? Maybe that's the secret we never talk about charisma. Charisma isn't about being the loudest, it's about being the most present. And Barbara Palvin is completely unapologetically present.
Like, creepy movie if you're not a horror fan?
I mean, it wasn't challenging because of that, but just it is my first acting job.
When you watch her interviews, there's a lightness in her tone. Soft laughter, sincere eyes, the way she listens before she answers. She speaks like she's not performing. She speaks like she simply being herself. She doesn't rush her words. She doesn't force emotion, and in a world built on perfection, that kind of authenticity feels revolutionary. Her face tells the same story. Rounded checks, a slight fullness that gives her warmth instead of distance. Soft eyes that curve at the corners, a micro expression that signals trust, safety, and emotional openness. Psychologists call it the familiarity effect, when a face triggers comfort because it mirrors emotions we recognize in ourselves. Barbara's beauty doesn't intimidate you, it welcomes you. In fashion, where confidence often comes wrapped in coldness, Barbara feels like warmth. She reminds me of a time when models weren't just canvases for clothes, there were muses for emotion, like Audrey Hepburn, gentleness, Monica Bellucci's soulfulness, and Angelina Jolie's quiet intensity. Barbara has that the same timeless pull, and yet, I'll be honest, there's something I just don't get. There was a time when the industry labeled Barbara Palvin as plus size, and I remember thinking, why? How could anyone look at her with her perfectly balanced proportions, her glowing skin, her natural curves, and think that's something to correct? To me, Barbara doesn't look plus size. She looks healthy. She looks like a woman who eats, loves, lives, and who doesn't punish her body for existing. And maybe that's exactly why she stands out, because her body reflects what femininity is supposed to be alive, soft, and real. And in a world obsessed with extremes, Barbara Palvin represents balance. And that too is charisma to be so comfortable in your skin that the world has no choice but to adjust its definition of beauty. There is something about her body language that reflects that balance. When she walks, it's graceful but never exaggerated. Her movements are fluid. Her confidence doesn't scream, it whispers. She doesn't try to prove she's powerful. She simply exists in her power, and that's what true charisma is. Not dominance, but calm assurance. A woman who knows her worth doesn't have to announce it. She radiates it quietly. That's Barbara Palvin. She connects through her gaze, her smile, her voice, and her energy. And if you've seen her recent Victoria's Secret fashion show, you know what I mean. Years after the world tried to label her, reshape her, and redefine her, there she was again, radiant, confident, effortless, walking not to prove a point, but simply to remind everyone that authenticity never goes out of style. Barbara Palvin isn't a comeback story. She's proof that true charisma never fades. It only grows stronger with time. Because in the end, charisma isn't what she shows, it's what she makes you feel. And that feeling, warm peace, curiosity, and admiration, that's why she's not just another pretty face. She's the most charismatic supermodel in the world.